Level 1, the panic button, the emergency keeper. Alright, let's start at rock bottom. Level 1 isn't even a real goalkeeper. This is the guy who plays striker, defender, or midfielder, and suddenly finds himself between the sticks because everything has gone horribly wrong. Red card, injury, substitutions already used. Chaos. Meet Olivier Giroud. Yes, that Olivier Giroud, the French striker who scored bangers across Europe. In October 2023, AC Milan were clinging to a 1-0 lead against Genoa in the 98th minute. Their keeper, Mike Maignan, got a straight red card for a dangerous clearance outside the box. No subs left. Someone had to put on the gloves. Giroud volunteered. Now, Giroud is 6 feet 4 inches, strong in the air, built like a Greek statue. On paper, he's the logical choice. In reality, the man had zero clue what he was doing. Genoa's George Puskas broke through one-on-one in the dying seconds. Giroud rushed off his line, closed his eyes, turned his head away like he was dodging a punch, and just threw his body at the ball. He punched it clear in the most unorthodox, technically horrific save you've ever seen. But here's the thing. It worked. Milan won 1-0. Giroud was named in the Serie A Team of the Week as a goalkeeper. His technique, 0 out of 10. His effectiveness, 100%. That's level 1. Pure survival instinct wrapped in blind panic. And he's not alone. Remember Kyle Walker at Manchester City? In a 2019 Champions League match against Atalanta, City lost Ederson to injury and Claudio Bravo to a red card. Walker, a right-back, had to play keeper for the final 10 minutes. He made one save, fumbling the ball before recovering it, and somehow kept a clean sheet. He became the first English goalkeeper to make a Champions League save in 3 years. The bar was on the floor, and he still tripped over it. But hey, job done. Did you know that in 1947, a 51-year-old manager named Neil McBain actually selected himself to play in goal during an injury crisis? He became the oldest player in English Football League history. Level 1, goalkeepers don't need talent. They need guts, luck, and a willingness to look absolutely ridiculous on camera. Level 2, the bench warmer, the vibes merchant. Now we move to level 2, the professional backup, the third choice keeper who gets paid millions to do absolutely nothing. And honestly, it might be the best job in football. Let me introduce you to Scott Carson. This man is a legend, but not for the reasons you'd think. Carson spent 6 years at Manchester City from 2019 to 2024. In those 6 years, guess how many games he played? Go on, guess. 2. That's it. 2 appearances. 1 penalty save against Newcastle. 1 clean sheet against Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League. And in that time, he won every trophy imaginable. Premier League titles, FA Cups, a Champions League. His trophy cabinet is stacked and he barely broke a sweat. But here's what makes level 2 so beautiful. Carson wasn't even on the bench most of the time. He was at home, watching the game on TV, just like us. Except he was getting paid millions to do it. No pressure, no media scrutiny, just vibes. He was so loved in the Man City dressing room that Pep Guardiola called him essential to team morale. His job wasn't to save shots, it was to keep everyone happy. Then there's Carlo Pinsoglio at Juventus. This guy came through the Juve academy, left, then came back in 2017 as the third choice keeper. And he became a cult hero, not for his saves, for his celebrations. Pinsoglio is famous for sprinting down the touchline to hug goalscorers with more passion than anyone on the pitch. Fans love him. Players love him. He's the human embodiment of positive energy. That's his role, the vibes guy. Level 2 keepers exist to fill homegrown player quotas, keep the dressing room light, and provide veteran experience in training. They're not there to play. They're there to make everyone else better. And honestly, sign me up. Level 3, the grinder. Level 3 is where we meet the true working class heroes of goalkeeping. These guys don't play for the glamour clubs. They're not on TV every week. But they show up, season after season, in the lower leagues, playing through injuries, bad pitches, and zero recognition. They are the grinders. Joe Murphy is the perfect example. This man made his professional debut for Tranmere Rovers in 1999. He played in the 2000 League Cup final at Wembley when he was just 18 years old. Then, he spent the next 25 years bouncing between clubs. West Brom, Sunderland, Coventry, Huddersfield, Bury, Shrewsbury, back to Tranmere. Over 600 professional appearances. And here's the kicker. In the 2024-25 season, at 44 years old, Joe Murphy was still playing. He's one of only 4 players to appear in League 2 after their 44th birthday. Think about that. He's playing against kids who weren't even born when he made his debut. His save percentage isn't flashy, sitting around 66%, but that's not the point. He survived by reading the game, organising his defence, and just being available. Week after week, year after year. The grinder's superpower is longevity. While outfield players peak in their late 20s and decline by 32, goalkeepers like Murphy hit their stride in their mid-30s. They trade explosive reflexes for positioning, anticipation, and experience. They've seen every type of shot, every type of striker, every dirty trick in the book. The ultimate grinder? Peter Shilton. The man played 1,005 league games across 32 seasons. That's not a career. That's a lifetime. Shilton proved that a goalkeeper's greatest asset isn't athleticism. It's availability. Show up. Do the job. Repeat for 3 decades. Level 3 keepers don't get the headlines, but they keep clubs alive. They're the backbone of football's lower tiers. Respect. Level 4. The Wonderkid. Now we're getting into the modern era. Level 4 is all about potential. These are the young keepers who look like they were designed in a laboratory. They're 6 feet 5 inches, 2-footed, fearless, and already playing like veterans at 22 years old. Welcome to the Wonderkids. Bart Verbruggen is the poster boy for this level. At just 23, he's already the starting keeper for Brighton and the Netherlands national team. And he's not just a shot stopper. He's a deep-lying playmaker. His passing stats are insane. Over 90% pass completion in his own half. He only launches long balls 26% of the time because he prefers short, intricate passing to break the press. He acts as the spare man in Brighton's build-up, essentially playing as an extra midfielder. The trade-off? His save percentage is average, sitting around 65.7%. But that's the thing about level 4 keepers. They're not complete yet. They're all potential, all ceiling. Clubs are willing to pay massive fees for physical traits you can't teach. Reach, wingspan, distribution range. Then there's Georgi Mamadashvili. This guy is a giant, 6 feet 6 inches. At 25, he's already valued at over 25 million euros. Liverpool paid big money to secure his future. Why? Because he covers portions of the goal that average keepers simply can't reach. He's the future of the line keeper, a shot stopper so physically dominant that attackers have to aim for impossible corners. Did you know that modern academies now scout goalkeepers based on ceiling rather than floor? They're not looking for who's best right now. They're looking for who could become unstoppable in 5 years. That's level 4. Raw, unfinished, but absolutely terrifying when they hit their prime. Level 5. The Shield. Level 5 is where we find the workhorses. These keepers play for mid-table clubs and face a ridiculous number of shots every game. They're not building attacks. They're preventing disasters. And they're damn good at it. Jordan Pickford is the king of level 5. For nearly a decade, he's been the single most important player at Everton. Without him, Everton would have been relegated years ago. In the 2024-25 season, Pickford ranked 3rd in the Premier League for total saves with 121. That's 3.2 saves per 90 minutes. He's making 3 to 4 spectacular saves every single game. directly earning Everton 10 to 15 points per season. And here's the crazy part. Despite Everton's defensive struggles, Pickford's post-shot expected goals, PSXG numbers, are elite. That metric measures how many goals a keeper saves compared to the average likelihood of those shots going in. Pickford consistently posts positive PSXG, meaning he's saving goals that should have gone in. He's a point saver, a game changer, and he's done it while England's #1 for 7 years. Then there's Bernd Leno at Fulham. After leaving Arsenal, Leno found his home at a club that needed a reflex specialist. He excels at close-range reaction saves. In 2024-25, he ranked second in total saves with 109. His pass completion and clean sheet rates are lower than elite keepers, but that's not his job. His job is to make the impossible save, and he does it week after week. Level 5 keepers are the reason mid-table clubs survive. They're not building dynasties, they're keeping their teams in the league, and that's heroic in its own right. Level 6. The revolutionary. This is where goalkeeping becomes an art form. Level 6 keepers don't just stop shots, they control the entire game. They're tactical pivots who change the geometry of the pitch. They're so good with their feet that they could play in midfield. Ederson at Manchester City is the gold standard. In the 2024-25 season, Ederson posted an 86.1% pass completion rate, the highest among Premier League goalkeepers. But it's not just accuracy, it's range. He completed over 30 accurate long balls, often bypassing the entire opposition midfield with 70-yard volleys directly into Erling Haaland's path. But here's what makes Ederson revolutionary. He positions himself 30 to 40 yards from his goal line, acting as a sweeper. This allows City's defensive line to push up to the halfway line, compressing the space the opponent has to play in. He's not just a goalkeeper, he's the foundation of Pep Guardiola's entire tactical system. Without Ederson, City's high line collapses. Then there's David Raya at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta made a controversial decision to replace Aaron Ramsdale with Raya, prioritising possession retention over pure shot stopping. And it worked. Raya led the Premier League in clean sheets with 15 in 2024 to 2025. But those clean sheets came because Arsenal controlled possession so effectively that he faced fewer shots. Raya is aggressive in claiming crosses, ranking first in some metrics, which kills attacks before a shot is even registered. That's prevention, not reaction. And we can't forget Gianluigi Donnarumma at PSG. In 2025, the CIS Football Observatory ranked him as the #1 performing goalkeeper in the world. He combines elite shot stopping with improved distribution under pressure. He's the hybrid, the complete package. And then there's Thibaut Courtois, the man who has turned Anfield into his personal torture chamber for Liverpool fans. Here's where it gets brutal for Liverpool fans. November 4th, 2025. Liverpool actually managed to break through. Alexis Mac Allister scored with a powerful header in the 61st minute to give Liverpool a 1-0 lead. The crowd erupted. Finally, they'd beaten Courtois. Except they hadn't really beaten him. They'd just barely survived him. Because once again, Courtois was absolutely unreal. Liverpool peppered him with shots all night. Mohamed Salah, one of the deadliest finishers in world football, had multiple chances. Courtois saved them all. Dominic Szoboszlai had a close-range effort that should have been a goal. Courtois somehow got a hand to it. Hugo Ekitike had a golden opportunity late in the match. Courtois made another brilliant one-handed save to deny him. The stats were ridiculous. Liverpool had chance after chance after chance, and Courtois kept saying no. After the match, he was brutally honest. "I tried, but I think we made too many mistakes near the penalty area, and they're good at that." That's how they scored. It's unfortunate. We need to improve that. But it's an extremely tough stadium, one of the hardest in the Champions League, and teams lose here. That's level 6 mentality right there, acknowledging the pressure, respecting the opponent, but still delivering a performance that nearly stole another result at Anfield. Even in defeat, Courtois was the best player on the pitch. Liverpool fans probably have nightmares about him at this point. And this isn't new for Courtois. He's been doing this for years. At Chelsea, he was a wall. At Real Madrid, he's been the difference between Champions League glory and early exits. His performance in the 2022 Champions League final against Liverpool, where he made 9 saves to deny them repeatedly, earned Madrid their 14th European Cup. He's 6 feet 6 inches of pure dominance, combining physical presence with elite positioning and reflexes that make strikers question their life choices. Level 6 keepers like Courtois don't just stop shots. They break the spirit of entire attacking units. They turn world-class forwards into frustrated versions of themselves. They make stadiums hold their breath every time the ball comes near them. That's the power of a revolutionary goalkeeper. And Courtois? He's been Liverpool's personal nightmare for years. Level 6 keepers make football look easy because they make the right decision every single time. They don't just save goals, they prevent them from happening in the first place. Level 7. The Immortals. And now we've reached the top. Level 7. The Legends. The goalkeepers who didn't just play the position. They defined it. They changed football forever. Let's start with Lev Yashin, the Black Spider, the only goalkeeper in history to win the Ballon d'Or, which he did in 1963. Yashin is credited with saving over 150 penalties in his career, a world record that still stands today. But it wasn't just his saves, it was his presence. Dressed entirely in black, he projected an aura of invincibility. He was the first goalkeeper to actively command his penalty area, shouting at defenders, rushing out to intercept passes. He invented the modern proactive style. Eusebio, one of the greatest strikers ever, said this about facing Yashin in the 1966 World Cup. Taking a penalty against Yashin wasn't like taking one against anybody else. Just seeing him in the post put many great confident players off. That's psychological dominance. That's level 7. Then there's Gianluigi Buffon, the Eternal. Buffon's career spanned distinct eras of football, from the classic Serie A of the 1990s to the modern high-pressing game. He retired with over 1,100 professional appearances, holding the record for the most Serie A appearances in history. His debut in 1995 at 17 years old was legendary. He kept a clean sheet against AC Milan, making saves against Ballon d'Or winners Roberto Baggio and George Weah that defied physics. But his peak? The 2006 World Cup. Buffon conceded only 2 goals in the entire tournament. An own goal and a penalty. That's it. Italy won the World Cup, and Buffon's performance remains one of the greatest statistical goalkeeping display in World Cup history. Iker Casillas, San Iker, the Saint. If Buffon represents consistency, Casillas represents the clutch moment. The 2010 World Cup final, 62nd minute, Spain 0, Netherlands 0. Arjen Robben breaks through one-on-one. Casillas dives the wrong way. But somehow, with the tip of his right toe, he deflects the shot. That single reflex won Spain their first World Cup. That's level 7. Moments that define history. And finally, Manuel Neuer, the modern revolutionary. Neuer didn't invent the sweeper keeper role, but he perfected it. His performance against Algeria in the 2014 World Cup, where he operated almost exclusively as a centre-back, fundamentally changed coaching manuals worldwide. He proved that a goalkeeper could be the team's best defender. He redefined what was possible. These 4 goalkeepers transcend statistics. They are mythology. They are the reason kids dream of wearing the number 1 shirt. They are immortal. From outfield players throwing on the gloves in pure panic to legends who changed the sport forever. The 7 levels of goalkeepers show just how insane the gap can be. Some keepers are just trying to survive the next 5 minutes. Others are rewriting history. So here's the question. If you had to build your team around one goalkeeper from this list, who are you picking? The chaos of Giroud, the vibes of Carson, the grind of Murphy, the future of Verbruggen, the shield of Pickford, the revolution of Ederson, or the immortality of Yashin? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got plenty more levels coming your way. See you in the next one.